We're joined today by Paolo Mauri, a defense and geopolitics analyst, to bring us more expertise on NATO's response to the Russian airspace violations and the escalating military exercises involving Russia and Belarus. And welcome, sir, joining us. Thank you so much for joining us here on In Focus. Sir, firstly, let's start off by asking, what does the UK summoning of the Russian ambassador actually indicate about NATO-Russian relations right now?
Well, actually, UK is one of the biggest adversary of Russia. It always has been. UK is one of the main contributor to NATO defense. It's one of the main contributor to Ukraine security and weapon sending. So it's not new to me that UK has summoned the Russian ambassador. Relationship between UK and Russia have never been lower since the end of the Cold War. For instance, there are many cases of influence and Russian operation about secret services in the UK. Otherwise, we have the same kind of operation in Russia. So it's really nothing new. The most important thing is the newly open mission of the NATO on the eastern side. It's about air defense, because we all know that some days ago, the Polish airspace was violated by Russian drones, and it was an action made on purpose, because right now we know that on these drones there were a supply tank integrated to prolong the range. Probably there were some kind of SIM card from Poland and Lithuania to help them a very better control from the Russia.
So we'll get back to that, sir. But I just want to ask you. You said that the most significant thing here happening right now is the Sentry mission. Now, how significant is the deployment of RAFs, fighter jets, in NATO's Eastern Sentry mission? Is this something that's very important when it comes to the consequences?
Well, I think that is not that much important about the political consequences, but it's certainly a sign of the more involved UK in the security, providing of security on the eastern flank of the NATO. NATO, since long time, has the air policing in the eastern flank. From the starting of the war in 2002, NATO started the enhanced vigilance activity. It comes from all the partners in NATO. Italy is a contributor to this kind of vigilance in the Baltic state, in Romania, and so on. So it's simply the collective response of NATO that is coming out. This is because of the Zapad 2025 exercise. It's a big joint exercise between Russia and Belarus. We already know that in 2021, it triggers the mobilization of the many personnel. It was around 200,000 Russian personnel that were mobilized, and later they were used to invade Ukraine. That's why NATO is on high alert. That's why especially Poland is on high alert, and that's why Poland closes its border with Belarus.
So what kind of strategic message do you think that the Russians are trying to send with the Zapad 2025 military drills? And do you think that this could lead to some sort of heightened tensions and the possibility of an expansion of the war?
Well, let me just say that there are many messages in this exercise. First of all, let me say that it's not just a Russian and Belarus joint exercise, but there are many other countries, India as well. But on the other side, so this means that Russia is not isolated. Russia has a lot of allied on her side. But on the opposite, we have to know that right now there are the presence of US and Hungarian military observers at the Zapad exercise. So this is a little sign of de-escalating. It's just like Moscow is trying to say to Washington and to Europe, come and see what we are doing. Okay, so it's very important that this sign.
But I mean, sir, that now that there are joint texts, as you said, it says come and see, but also there's exercises near NATO borders that include nuclear-capable sort of.
Yep.
Does this create tension or friction, or maybe cause fear within the European hearts?
Well, okay, Russia is rattling the nuclear sabers since the beginning of this war. We all know, and we know that it's because the only clear deterrence Russia have is the nuclear deterrence. Because conventional forces right now, okay, they're engaging in a big war, but conventional forces, they are not comparable to NATO conventional forces. So that's why Russia is subverting the nuclear threat. But it's usual for this kind of exercise, for Zapad exercise, that I'll let you know one more time. It occurred since 1999. It's usual to use nuclear forces. Russia showed this kind of part of the exercise in a very wide way, because we have noticed, we have seen pictures and little footage of Iskander SRBM in Belarus, in Kaliningrad, and whatever. But it's nothing new. It's certainly this threat is persistent in this year. But I personally don't see an escalating of a nuclear threat with this exercise.
That may be true, sir, but I mean, the fact that it is, yes, this is something that happens naturally, this bad exercises, but it occurs at the same time as, these incursions within Poland and other countries, in Romania, for instance. Do you think that this might somehow rattle NATO or influence NATO's military posture and alliance when it comes to dealing with the current situation?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because it's like how can I say? It's heightening the security level to have another form of deterrence. So I don't see this kind of behavior escalating in a bad way. I don't think that things are gonna get worse.
Okay, well, then, since you've brought this up, if we could sort of look forward and see what might happen in the near future, for instance, how do you see it? Do you see that there is a possibility for de-escalation through diplomacy or sustained deterrence, or is there a potential for actual confrontation?
This is a very hard question to answer, because we all know that politics is the realm of possibility. And it's all about the willing of people, the willing of diplomacy. Right now, I see the US are kind of engaged to find an end to this war, but just because they have to reconcentrate their forces to the Asia theater to confront China. It's all about us Europeans to deter Russia right now. Right now, things between European and Russia are not quite well, as you can see. But I think that further escalation leading to a total war, it remains a possibility, but it's right now it's a faraway possibility. Just let me finish the reasoning. I think that there's gonna be peace only when one of the two enemies, Russia or Ukraine, will gain their strategic targets. I don't think that Ukraine will be able to in Crimea and all the occupied territory. And I don't think that Russia will be able to demilitarize Ukraine to occupy all the other territories that she want to occupy. For example, Kharkiv, Kherson, and even the Odessa Oblast. So it's going to be a stalemate.
Well, sir, as you said, that each side of this conflict wants very incompatible things. But do you think that there could be a role for mediation or diplomatic channels to somehow temper the military tensions, like, the US interfering in this?
Yeah, there's always a path to diplomatic talks between the parties. So I hope that when the military power, the military force, it will be weak on both sides, then we'll come together and talk about peace. It's just my hope.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. That was Paolo Mauri, defense and geopolitics analyst. Thank you for your insights and thank you for joining us, sir.